I will tag Andrew.
Cheers, Daniel. Yeah, I'm Andrew. I live in Margate, work for Epic Restart Foundation. As David says, my first session today, and he's pretty much taken the words out of my mouth. Me thinking, what is going on? So
I will tag Andrew.
And yeah, looking forward to kind of getting going with it all. And I'm checking in as good. Yeah, I'm pleased to be back in the new year and getting going again. And I will tag Olivia.
Morning, everyone. Yeah, I'm checking in good. Had a good Christmas, good New Year. Yeah, so everything's okay with me. I will check in Charlie.
Thanks, Olivia. Andrew, this is my 1000th week and I still don't have a clue what's going on. So yeah, join us. I am checking in, a wee bit rushed. I had a lousy night's sleep. Just got to the gym and I've come back. I'm only here for the first half because I've got a boiler guy coming. I've got frozen pipes in my caravan. So yeah, I'm checking in all right, actually. I'm all right today. I will go for David. Hello, David.
Good morning there, everyone. Happy New Year. All the best. Also had a good New Year's. Looking forward to our session and to the new year. And yeah, checking in. Very good. Thank you. Joe?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm Joe. I work for Recovery Connections in Stockton. I'm doing all right. Had a good night's sleep. Good Christmas and New Year. Absolutely buzzing to be back at work. That's sarcasm. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Getting back into the groove. Is that everyone? Feel like it is.
Cool. So, can you all see the screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. All right. So, David, will you read the recording consent statement, please?
Yes, sure. Right. Let me just zoom in there. Before we begin recording, I want to make sure everyone is aware and comfortable. This session is being streamed and recorded as part of UACT LERO's mission to build recovery, capital and challenge stigma. Your personal safety and comfort come first. If at any time you would like your contribution or the recording deleted, please say so, and it will be removed without question. Please remember, take personal responsibility for what you share. This is an adult learning environment, not therapy, mutual aid, or a faith-based organization. If you are happy to proceed, please give a verbal yes. Yes. Or
Yeah.
use the everybody say yes. Or
Yes.
use the chat to confirm your consent to the recording. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Okay. So always my anxiety rises up here. So, oh God, like juggling all the balls and bringing everything together. So yeah, I'm David. I'm checking in, anxious but excited. It's really nice to see Andrew here. It's really wonderful to see Danny coming to the end of the required classroom attendance. And hopefully you're more than welcome to come back after completing the hours like Charlie. Charlie's a good cult member. We've roped him in and we're working on getting his bank account details and him leaving his house to us as an organization.
I'd already sent them over.
All right. So, yeah, how was New Year? Let's get Daniel to do a check-in around how the New Year was.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was no, I had a really busy Christmas. Claire gave me the hub for Christmas Day, and I had people over. And then I was dog sitting for a bit, and then I was quite relieved just to have an excuse to stay in because the poor dog and the fireworks, and I don't get too much time just to chill out. And it was nice to watch all the fireworks from my balcony. It got a bit sad after that. There's a little old man he was coming into the hub, and he'd been struggling with Valium for 20, 30 years, and he came to Christmas dinner, and he had a really nice day. He had a really lovely day, and then he passed away since then. And that's it was sad because it was really slow progress, but he was making progress. Do you know what I mean? It was so. But I'm glad I gave him a nice dinner like I say, he bought, and it was a really nice thing because he bought presents for everyone as well. Because we were all supposed to bring one present, and he didn't get it, and he got a present for everyone, and which is really sweet. But then, it's just eventually these things get us, don't they?
Okay, so there's today's agenda. There's something that's risen up in the container. So Andrew, just to bring some context around to this learning environment, we start with the check-in. Yep. So we check in, we contract, and we build the container. Yep. So you've been contracted to come here to learn about recovery coaching over the 20-week period, working in a LERO, a lived experience recovery organization working in the gambling harm space. Yep. So you've been contracted here to learn about how you can bring your lived experience and show up as a professional. Yeah. And when we show up as professionals and we start to work with people that are in complex situations, sometimes they die. Yeah. And then that has an impact on us. Yeah. And Daniel, when you're talking, I can hear the impact that it's kind of had on you because you're being very compassionate and the way that you're talking about it. Yeah. Which is a nice thing. Yeah. I had a colleague pass over the recently that he died of cancer. He hadn't told anyone about it, and it impacted me emotionally. And the one thing about lived experienced organizations is we bring our authentic self to the container for the good of building relationships with the organization and the individuals. It's not for us to come here for our own therapy around that. Does that make sense? So we share our story in a way that's in service of someone else in an authentic way, but we also need to manage that stuff and still be there in a supportive coaching space. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Now, just to go a little bit further, when it comes to people dying, and I was talking about this with Charlie yesterday, one of the things I've got to watch out for is that I don't get compassion fatigue, and that I remember that everyone's story is their story. And just because we come across it a lot, I don't start thinking, oh, fuck, well, there goes another junkie.
Yeah.
Which is something that lives in my head. It's like, well, if only they bloody listened, if only they da. Yep. And I've got to watch that part of myself. And that's where I need supervision and support from the container, from other people in the field. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start with that agenda. Yep. How do we look after ourselves in the complexities of our own lived experience, our own families, and how that plays out, and our professional role that we have when we show up in the organizations that we work with. So, Dorette, would you like to go first?
To share or to tell how Christmas and New Year were?
Whatever works for you.
I'm glad these holidays are over. They were good, but I'm glad they're over. And a heavy topic to start today. Yeah, people dying around you. Yeah, I'm not. I don't really know how to respond. I find it difficult. I can only. I saw Daniel. He got slightly emotional about it, and I feel that. I lost people around me of different, not drugs or just life.
Thank you, Dorette. Yeah. And what I like about what you said there, it feels very real. Yep. And I like the way that you were able to tap into Daniel's feelings around that. Yeah. Daniel, how was that for you?
Yeah, no, I thought it was really nice and it was really considerate and also really awkward. I hate when eyes are on me, but
so the support was awkward. Being seen felt awkward.
Yeah, it often does.
Yeah. I get it. I get it. I get it.
So it's nice to be in the support, but no, I think it was really nice what she said. Yeah, because it's not something I was thinking about. I'm just sharing what happened. So yeah, thanks, Stuart.
Okay, so now I want to move, if that's all right, from the kind of the hard space, and we move to the transactional space. What processes do you have in your organization when a member of your community passes? What's the paperwork? What's the procedure? Is there something like that?
So generally, like an announcement goes out with offer of support and for people to talk about it. I mean, but we're lucky in the sense that it's a recovery cafe, so it's a community thing. So, we sit down and we talk about these things, and there's a lot of support that goes on.
So you have a debrief, amongst your team members, as well as the community members.
Yeah, normally, and then and because we're running meetings in the hub as well, like the thing, what's happened generally comes up, and it gives people the space to discuss that and get it out. It's just like I know what you're saying about compassion fatigue, or because you become very numb to these things happening, because it's very frequent, isn't it? Yeah. So it's but there's a lot of support there.
So is there any paperwork that needs to be filled out?
It's not. I don't think there's paperwork for this incident.
An incident.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you say it in that sense, as like I don't know what's going on with Claire at the moment, because I'm away as well. So I don't know whether she'll have paperwork to do that, whether she'll have to contact with the services, because.
Okay, so Claire's, just so everyone knows, Claire's your boss.
Yeah.
The leader of the organization, and she might have a process to follow. Is she aware? Had she been made aware of it?
Well, yeah. So he went missing for a couple of days, and then between the community people went looking for him. That's why he was found. So I assume that there'll be some paper trail somewhere, but that's nothing that I'm involved with at the moment.
Okay. All right. So part of coming together and debriefing this is to see as an opportunity to kind of see where as organizations we can do better.
Yeah.
Yep. So at the clinic, when people pass for whatever reason, we all come together and see what could we have done better.
Yeah.
Yep. Have we been at fault in any, where could we improve? Things like that.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's also an opportunity to help debrief the staff. Yep. And often the paperwork process is also kind of can be beneficial in terms of debriefing the situation.
Yeah.
Yep. So for some people, it's nice to write case notes because it's an opportunity to get the stuff out of your head. That is not my style.
Yeah.
Yep. I do not. I'm not. And as a coach, I don't need to keep case notes.
Mm-hmm.
Can I add, David?
Yeah.
Can I add? We lost a dear friend who wasn't part of our organisation, but was there and thereabouts. He was there when we set it up, and even though he wasn't part of our organisation, he felt like part of it. I'll just put his phone on, even silent. And we lost him about two months ago now, and all the staff man felt it emotionally, physically. We all man felt this human losses. And what we decided to do was, because he wasn't part of our organisation and he didn't die now watching all this, but he was man really close to us all. We decided to go out my back garden and we actually lit a fire for him. We all got around us, fire, and me and the staff, and we just told stories about him and Peter. We just told stories about his life. We remembered this and when he was helping us and set up. And that was an emotional release. We could all man feel like the laughter and the telling the stories and talking around the fire and all this stuff. And that's the first ever time I've ever done that. I said, man, let's just go and let's just go and light a fire for him. And I tell you what a fantastic idea, man, that was, just to release that emotion and remember Peter. So I just wanted to bring that in.
Wonderful, Charlie. So that really brings a ritual process, a ceremony to help deal with the grief and the feelings that the people that are left behind have.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and wonderful. So there's a paperwork, transactional escalation kind of process, and then there's a ritual kind of process as well. What else? Oh, I can feel my energies really like it's New Year. I'm back here. Let's go. Let me try and calm down. Otherwise, Andrew's going to think, oh my God, what has Richie sent me to? Okay, let's keep moving then. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, because that's the other thing, huh? The show needs to go on. Yeah, and that's also like, fuck. Yeah. So just in kind of closing around that, the ceremony process that we did for Guy, our colleague that passed, Yeah, what was helpful for us was bringing together professionals and other academics to do a little hour talk, yeah, honoring the man and his work, which was separate to what the family need to do. Yep. So the other kind of boundary that we need to look at is what is our own kind of professional work doing, and how does that not leak into the family process and what the family needs to do. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like the police are very good at doing this sort of thing. Yep, they'll go to a crime scene or something where something's happening, and then they'll step back and allow the family to do their process, and they're very offish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I imagine that that's similar to doctors and nurses in the NHS system. Yeah, and we find ourselves somewhere, somewhere out of that. Okay. All right. So, Andrew, going back to you where you're starting, yeah. So you need to be here for 20 weeks, yep. And it's split up into 5 modules. The first 4 weeks is about how to have the coaching conversation, and there'll be material around that. And the symbol we use for the coaching conversation is a set of headphones. We use a picture, and that's really about listening. Yeah. The next part of the training is the continuum, seeing where somebody's going, and there are some continuums. Are they moving to a place of high well-being, or are they deteriorating down to premature death? And this is what's just happened with Daniel's community member there, is they went to premature death. I presumed he died early. Hey, Daniel?
He died suddenly.
Suddenly, yeah, okay. So, okay.
Yeah.
Then the third module is the system, how it's all connected together. The fourth module is using coaching as a leadership skill. And then the fifth module is building the container. Yep. So Danny's now here. He's at the end of it, and he started by building the container and getting everyone to check in. And he's gone through the online theory stuff. And this area here is a bit of a practice thing. Now, because we work in crisis, chaos, and conflict, we need to practice a skill of being able to show up on the spot with what's being presented. It's not like, okay, class, we're doing this today, we're doing this module, here's a PowerPoint presentation. We deliberately do it this way because addiction recovery, the environment is so chaotic. Yeah. So a lot of services get set up. Well, you can only come in between 9 and 5, and you can only do this, and the population that we're trying to serve don't fit well in that environment. Yep. So for us to serve people with lived experience in whatever their behavior is as coaches, we need to be flexible and to be able to dance with that chaos. Does that make sense? So that's the thinking and the justification around the chaos that's happening here in this environment. Okay. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I've been working sort of in this space for a little while. I worked as a peer support worker for the NHS last year, and recently got a job with Epic Restart. So I've been doing sort of facilitation of groups in the peer support role for a little while. But I've got lived experience in gambling harm, going back for 8 years. I've been in recovery now, so the 12 years before that. And yeah, life was just chaos during that time, and I kind of started recovery. Got to a point where it hit rock bottom, worked my way back up again gradually, and realised after a few years that I needed to start working with people again, helping others, and that started to help me as well. I struggle with anxiety myself and bits like that, so pushing myself out of my comfort zone to face that anxiety sometimes is a benefit to me. And yeah, I'm in a position now where I'm able to give back. My experience that caused me so much harm in the past now feels like a bit of a superpower. It feels like I'm able to use it to really help others and inspire others and help myself as well. So, yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I obviously started work with Epic in November, and I was part of the Epic scheme 3 years ago, the program. So I've been through their program myself. Richie was my mentor at the time. And yeah, just had this passion to kind of give back and end up working for them at some point. So I switched over from the NHS last year to Epic. And here I am now, yeah, in the chaos.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. So I'll tell you what, let's whip around the room and let's tell Andrew a little bit about ourselves. Yeah, and let's just kind of build a bit of a. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, go on then. I'm Daniel. I volunteer at the Kent Street Recovery Hub. I've been doing that for about 2 years. Previous to that, I was an alcoholic and a drug addict for about 30 years. I managed to keep a job for about 20 of them. And then I took up meth full time just over a decade ago. I was quite successful in that game. But yeah, finally found recovery a couple of years ago and just trying to work my way out of it. I'm doing quite well at the moment. Do you want me to tag someone?
Yeah, why not?
Go on, Joe.
I'm Joe. I'm working in Stockton for Recovery Connections, which is a lived experience drug and alcohol service. I've been in recovery from alcohol about 3 years now. It was New Year's Day 3 years ago. Yeah, prior to that, I was just doing a lot of different jobs and drinking too much, and it got to the point where I just decided I didn't want it anymore. And I went through the service in Darlington, and they helped me out quite a lot. And then I was working selling cars, which wasn't really fulfilling. And then I found this Recovery Connections, and I've been working here for 2 years now. And yeah, that's me. Charlie.
Thanks, Joe. I'm Charlie, and I was in addiction for over 30 years. I live in the northeast of England, Norton, just next to where Joe is in Stockton. I am and run my own community interest group called We Do, and we predominantly work in the men's space. We have a men's wellness and resilience program I'm running at the moment. It's an 8-week program with 4 different modules. And we work with men online and in the community. What else do I do? And I own a caravan over in Crimdon right next to the beach. And that's my love in my life. And I will go with Olivia.
Morning. I was an alcoholic. I went to a place called Pear Road in Kent, and I went to rehab. I came out of there. I went back to the services, and they discharged me, and asked me to come back as a volunteer. So I've been doing that for the last 2 years. One of my consequences was my child was taken from me, but over the Christmas period, that all changed, and now I have him with me unsupervised, so that's really good. That's the other scale of what recovery can happen to you at the end of it. Yes, I'm in a really good place at the moment. Now the situation with my son is being dealt with. I feel that I can go back to work, so I'm just applying for some jobs as a recovery worker at the moment. So that's me. I will tag in Danny.
You're muted, Danny.
Hiya, folks. I'm Danny. I'm an alcoholic. Like Daniel, I volunteer at Kennedy Street, and I've been a volunteer here for 18 months, something like that. I got sober 20 months ago. I I'm I had a quite a sort of punishing experience in trying to get recovered. In that I kept coming to recovery, Alcoholics Anonymous mainly, but also CGL, and I could stop, but I couldn't stay stopped. So I spent maybe about the last 6 years of my drinking and using, just in this quite painful cycle of losing more and more, going back out there. And so it's been quite a difficult journey for me to get sober. So this 20 months is like an absolute fucking miracle. I've thrown myself into the sort of recovery world, and that's been really helpful to me. And I've been focusing quite a lot on the creative side of things here at Kennedy Street. So I run an art group, and out of that has grown putting on a recovery exhibition in a local gallery. And so a lot of the support that I offer here is around using creativity, almost kind of therapeutically, really, to aid with recovery. And I'm a creative person myself, and that's really helped me. And we get really good attendance at the art group, and we had we had a great exhibition with like 18 artists in recovery, and lots of people came to see it. So that's been really successful, I think, and we're just applying for some more funding to do some more of that kind of work. So yeah, that's me. And I shall tag David.
Thank you, Danny. I come from a background, also addiction, alcohol, all sorts. I've come from background where we've had businesses dealing with alcohol, selling in the restaurant industry. Yeah, a business with my father. We used to sell alcohol, liquor store, restaurants, nightclubs, etc. I've been I've been using substances, alcohol, for the last, I would say, since the age of 16, so it's quite a while. I've hit rock bottom, lost my father after I've lost my dad. Obviously, the drinking and the drug abuse became a lot worse. I lost my family, and then I lost my businesses. At the same time, tried to function, work, keep my job, keep my day job. It's been a difficult, how can I say, road. And then 6-7 years ago, just before COVID hit, I think that was the opportunity I had in life. With the lockdown and everybody had to stay home, I made a point and decided in my life, before I lose everything, my job, and before I actually end up in the streets, I had to look at myself, self-assess, and start making big changes in my life. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here today. So the COVID sort of was like the cushion. During the lockdown, I went through cold turkey, the whole works, on my own. I wouldn't say on my own. I would say more of a spiritual higher power that helped me. A lot of praying, a lot of studying from my side. I'm now sort of semi-retired. I've moved since my father passed away, into the construction industry. So now about a year ago, I sort of semi-retired, and I thought, well, I've got something to share, and with the experience that I've had, maybe give something back. Yeah, it's been a how can I say, a sad. It's actually emotional, if I have to say, but yeah. But yeah, it's been a long journey. It's been a tough journey, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So yeah, who else is here? I can tag David
Dorrit.
or Dorrit.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Dorette. I live in the Netherlands. I'm a family member.
Yeah.
I have a daughter in addiction, so you can say that I am addicted to my child. I trying to get her back on her feet. I went very, very far to get that done. So I fell out, like not being able to work anymore. And luckily, I found a family support group, and I joined them every week, and that's very helpful to share my story, to hear them, and that made me want to do the same, help others by helping them to share, perhaps leading a meeting, and that's why I follow these trainings.
Wonderful, Dorrit. Okay, so you can see from this container here, we've got a nice little system here. We've got some people with gambling harm recovery. We've got family members that have been impacted, and then we just got alcoholics and people that have used drugs. Yeah, which is the kind of the majority in here. Yeah. Okay, what else have we got in here from a diversity perspective? What else have we got?
A lot of lived experience.
Yeah, what kind of lived experience?
Best kind. Well, most of us got. Well, we've all got a knowledge around addiction and in different forms, and recovery, which is I suppose the most important part.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how many people here have English as their second language? Yeah. Okay. So, Daniel, what's your first language?
I speak Daniel English.
Daniel English. Okay,
Really.
but it's not like Dorette.
It's not like the Queen's English.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And
Yeah,
I imagine that's the same for you, Charlie. Yep. So you and Daniel are both coming from, we speak a different dialect of English. Yeah, we're not like those English bastards. Yeah, we're different. Whereas Dorette is Dutch. Yeah. So that's something that we need to just kind of be aware of as well. All right. Okay. What else have we got in terms of the container here from a diversity perspective? Oh, come on, people. I mean, from what I can see, there's two ladies here. Yeah.
I was going to say that there's men and females in the group.
Yeah, but okay. All right. And that's assuming that everyone identifies as
Male and female.
yeah. So there's that stuff in the field as well. Yeah. All right. What about heterosexual? Should we go down that route? Okay, let's not go down that route. All right. Black, white, brown, yellow, red.
I'm eggshell.
Your eggshell?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So where I just want to go with this is the lived experience stuff. Yep, it's important for us to know where we don't have experience. Yeah. And just to give us an example, Joe, do you mind telling us what it's like to give birth?
Yeah, I think it's fairly easy, isn't it?
Oh.
Well done, Joe. Well done.
Okay.
That's
Okay. Does that make sense? It's like fuck.
yes, it's perfect sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I would have said so. Like, well, we all experienced it, didn't we? We all were birthed. But I was unconscious when I came out, so I've got an excuse. I don't remember.
Passing a kidney stone.
Yeah.
I had the cord around my neck. I was like,
My son was born in a toilet.
oh, wow.
That's a true story.
And was he conceived in a toilet as well?
I don't know. But yeah, that's very interesting.
Okay. All right. So who is a father here in the container? Raise your hands up if you're a father. Okay. Cool. So we've got how many? Oh, fuck. I hate it when Zoom moves about. I can't tell who had their hand.
We've got 5.
Yep. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So how did your relationship change with your partner when she became a mother?
Mm.
Bit more strained, I would say.
I would say a lot, David. I mean, all the tension that the husband was getting is now all diverted to the little one. So everything was the husband, attention. You were getting all the,
So
you know, the love and
just speak from the I statement. Yep.
I-
So I found
I-
that my wife changed, and
Yes, I found that I was getting all the attention. I was the man of the house. I was the how can I say I was the person until the little one came along, and then obviously all the attention started going to the little, which obviously then that's how the relationships changes. I mean, from
great.
having all the attention,
Okay.
it
So
moved towards the
the
little one.
focus wasn't on me anymore. It was on the baby. Okay.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. And rightly so, by the way. But
Rightly, yes.
but let's just say that's what happened. Andrew, what were you going to say?
I was a bit more strained due to tiredness and the lack of sleep to start with, from both parts, coming home from work and realizing couldn't just sit down and chill out on the sofa, having to be a father, and taking the strain off my wife as well at times, so having to think about someone else in the house. So it just caused a bit more, the tiredness, I suppose, caused a bit more tension.
So there was fatigue.
Yeah.
I work all day and then I come home and it's like, oh fuck, now I've got to look after this kid that seems to be awake all the time. And my wife, who's now become a mother, I've got to manage her fatigue as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but great. Wonderful example. Anyone else? Danny, did you have your hand up? You've got some daughters, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got 3 children. Yeah, I'm not currently in touch with them because of my drinking and using, which has been a bit tricky. But I'm working on it. But yeah, I mean, I had an experience when with one of my children that my partner was very, very sick afterwards, and so I had to take on the mother role for about 9 months, and so. For having had that experience, I can, I can really empathize with what it's like to be a mum, because it was fucking hardcore. So having to do all the feeds, all the, nighttime feeds, all of the, basically mothering one of my daughters, which was an incredible amount of work.
Oh, Danny, when you talk like this, it evokes sadness in me and compassion and care. And I saw Dorette smiling, like she kind of like my judgment would be she got a bit of like, yeah, you actually do know what that's like. And then the other part that impacts me is when you said that you haven't been seeing your daughters. And then I'm just thinking like, wow, like you stood in at that time and then you're not seeing your child. That must be incredibly hard.
Yeah, yeah, of course. It's I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why I found it so difficult to get sober was because, you know, when I lost contact with I don't want to blame it on and you know on things other than the fact that obviously I'm an alcoholic, but I just I spent a long time kind of, you know, avoiding and grieving and struggling with the fact that that I wasn't able that I wasn't in contact with my children. And that's been a tough part of my journey, really.
So there's a lot of men that become estranged fathers.
Yeah, I'm one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they get kicked out of the house.
Mm.
Yeah. And the addiction, yeah, is a justification for that. Yeah. So you're no longer safe to see your kids or whatever. Sorry, and that's always a trigger for me personally because my kids were taken away and you know it's yeah so my own personal stuff gets activated when this conversation comes into the container. Yep, my own lived experience comes alive. It's like, oh yeah, and I need to be able to notice that and have some resilience around that. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is another great metaphor for when people go into recovery. Yep. They change. The relationship changes. The family system changes. Yep. It's actually very traumatic going into recovery. And people tend to think that when this person stops using, we're going to live happily ever after. Usually what happens is this person stops using, now the shit really comes home to roost. Does that make sense to everyone? And this is the area that gives us a lot of opportunity as recovery coaches to help people recover all those different roles. Yep, their career, their family relationships, a relationship with themselves, their fitness, their health, their dietitian, their finances, all that sort of stuff. Making sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So we're going to come and take a break in a minute. And I can feel I've got such an anxiety running. You know, I was like, fuck, how are we doing? Yeah. And I feel like I'm on my best behavior. And I think that's because I really want to welcome Andrew and I know what it's like to first come into this container. Yeah. So just quickly, one thing that you've learned today, and then we'll take a 10-minute break and come back. So I've learned that I still get anxious and I'm very excited that it's a new year.
Mm.
Danny.
I think I'm quite curious at the moment because obviously we've got Andrew who's joined us as from a gambling addiction background and is supporting other people with those issues, and I don't really know very much about that. So I've been quite curious today to understand a little bit more about that.
Great. Joe.
I think I've learned a bit about how people react to deaths in service and things like that, and how it affects people differently.
Great. Dorette.
Um, I feel mostly the compassion, and that keeps coming up when people tell yeah, these heavy stories. Yeah.
Thank you. Daniel.
I think I've realised how much of like a visual person I am because I've just got this image of Danny in like 1950s dress with his marigolds on, looking after the kids, kind of like Minnie Mouse kind of style.
Cool. Charlie.
It was exactly.
I learned from Joe that childbirth is easy.
Mm.
That's what I learned. Thanks, Joe.
Andrew.
Obviously, the first session here, I've learned about everyone and how powerful it is for people to help others in recovery. It seems to be the common theme is everyone's gaining from helping others. So.
Cool. Olivia.
I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. Talking about family again always gets me.
Mm.
Everything that happened with my children, just every time I hear it, I'm just, oh God. But
I feel you on that one.
have to keep going, don't we?
I really feel you on that one. Oh, it's very painful, that.
Mm.
Davide?
Yes, also curious and anxious with Andrew. Would like to hear more about his story regarding gambling, being addictive, as my uncle was. And yeah, I'd like to know more about his story and see how he pulled through, and maybe I can learn a thing or two from him. Back to you, David.
Cool. All right, everyone. I'll see you at 5 past. That's 9 minutes. So that should be enough for a coffee, a vape, a cigarette. If you people still smoke a vape, it's disgusting behavior.
Remember, David, I am checking out now. I've got a boiler.
Oh, shit. Okay, Charlie. Thanks for letting us
Cheers, Charlie.
down. How are you checking out?
I am checking it. Yeah, I'm checking out my quite well. I quite enjoyed that hour actually. So thanks, guys.
Cheers, Charlie.
Yeah, nice to meet
See
you.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Okay. See you all at 5 past. Have you recovered from the 3-day training, Joe? You're muted.
Yeah. Well, I actually did it a while ago. I think it was last year. I can't actually remember when it was, but it was quite a while ago. And then I just
2
haven't had
years ago.
2 years ago, yeah, something like that. But yeah, it was certainly an experience.
And how are you doing now? It's great to have you here.
Yeah, I'm doing all right, plodding along.
Okay. This is your first online class.
Second, I was on the one just before New Year.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, great. Well, let's start the check-in. How are you checking in, Joe?
Yeah, checking in all right. Got a refill of my coffee, so happy enough.
Good, me too. Davide, how are you checking in?
Yeah, checking in all right as well. Got a refill as well. Yeah, it's just sometimes I've got so much to say, but when I want to talk, it just doesn't come out the way I want it to come out. But yeah, I'm working on it. I'm not a very good speaker, but yeah, it's something that I have to practice.
Cool. Dorette?
I'm checking in also good. And yeah.
Good. Olivia?
Yeah, I'm checking in okay. Had a few minutes just to kind of reset, and I'm okay now.
Yeah, the emotions kind of
Yeah.
come back. Yeah, okay, great. Danny?
Yeah, I'm doing okay, thanks, David. I think I don't know if everyone else feels like this, but I'm sort of slightly struggling to get back into the groove this week. But apart from that, I'm doing okay, thanks.
Okay, great. Daniel, are you there? There we go. He comes flying in over the top.
Go Superman.
Oh,
Uh,
how you doing?
Yeah, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. And Andrew, how are you checking in?
Yeah, well, I always had a bit of anxiety in the first group and stuff, but it's all gone well, and yeah, I feel comfortable back. So yeah, thank you everyone for sharing and making me feel welcome.
Okay. And Andrew, are you open to listening to some of Danny's curiosity?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Danny, would you like to ask some questions and get curious?
Yeah, sure. I think I mean the recovery hub that we volunteer at here is we basically offer a safe space for people with all kinds of addiction, and as well as having like AA meetings and NA meetings and things here, we also have SLAR, I think, and adult children of alcoholics and things like that. And we obviously offer we offer support to people who will come to us with a gambling addiction, but it's not something that I've had any experience of myself as a volunteer. And I suppose I was curious about what maybe some of the similarities and differences are between the struggles with gambling addiction and things that I've got more knowledge of, like alcohol and drugs.
Yes, I guess from my experience, it's all consuming. So when you're in it and you're gambling, it takes priority and takes preference over anything else in your life, regardless of whether you want it to or not. But for me, it wasn't the case by the end that I sort of wanted to gamble. I felt like I needed to. And it wasn't until I was really kind of backed into a corner, I ended up committing fraud at work and getting arrested and being backed into a corner to admit I had a problem. And that was the point I started to realize I needed help. And I had to find another way out. Whereas years before, my only way out I felt was by gambling and winning all my money back and getting my life back on track this way, but it was just spiraling out of control. So I guess that's I've no experience in being an alcoholic, but I guess the similarity is you haven't really got that control over it when you're in it, and and it felt like that for years. I felt like I couldn't tell anyone or go for support for years until I was made to go and get support effectively, or I had to. I had no other choice to. Getting arrested was by far the best thing that could have ever happened to me. It was the only way that was going to sort me out. I wish I could have got there a different way, but I wasn't able to. And that's when recovery started, and realizing that support was out there, and reaching out and being able to see other people that have gone through it. Realizing I wasn't alone. I felt isolated. I felt alone. I felt like, no one else could help me, but opening that support and having that community there to help me through it was a big part of that. And yeah, it's, I guess for me, I know with the gambling that I have control over that first bet, whether I have that first one or not. As soon as I have that first one, that control starts to go, and then the control will go the more I do it. So I'm again, I can only speak from a gambling point of view, but I'm guessing that's a similarity as well. Is that there is that first choice you can make, and that control comes from when you are thinking clearly. But as soon as your mind starts to go with it, something clicks, and you go into this different zone. And I, like I say, in the end, it felt like I needed to, rather than I didn't even enjoy doing it. It was just I had to do it, and that was it. And by the end,
wow, that's actually I felt so much identification with what you were saying. Like if you'd have swapped the word for, gambling for alcohol, it would have been, you'd have been telling parts of my story. The similarities are quite strong. Yeah, I think I started getting in trouble with the police and stealing and things, to try and to fuel my drinking. And it's just the similarities are quite quite surprising, really.
Yeah, it's like you're submitting to something that's harmful to you, but you believe it's your only source. It's like you believe it's a solution to the problem that it's caused in the first place. It's completely illogical when you think of it clearly, but when you're in it, you believe it, don't you?
Did you hear Andrews when he said, "I wish I got arrested earlier"?
Yeah.
That was like, what?
It was the most nerve-wracking tension, but also the most relieved I've ever been. Really, it was such a bizarre experience. It just felt like I needed it, but I didn't have the courage to sort it out sooner, and it forced me to sort it out. So I'm thankful for it now.
So it's like, okay, you got me. I surrender, and then the process happened. What happened in your process?
So that the big part was it was then out in the open.
Great. So it's come out into the open. And let me just double check for your safety. You okay? Because I really want to keep this recording going and to capture the wisdom. So, but I want to know that you're okay sharing this stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. It was 8 years ago, 8.5 years ago now. So
okay,
yeah,
good. All right.
So
you've got some agency. You've got some time around you, so you're in a good position to make an informed choice. Yep, I don't mind sharing my story here.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, so it was yes. So I guess for me it was when I was sat down in the police cell for a couple of hours thinking, how can I get out? My automatic process, which had been for some years, how can I get out of this situation? What excuse can I use? And I realised that the only way the best policy was honesty from then on. And I just thought I was going to be honest. I sat down being interviewed by the police, and it was at that point that the pressure started to release. I started to get it out of my own head and speak it out, just someone that I didn't even know. And just saying it out loud made me realise, blimey, this is a problem. Look at what I've done. Look at all this. And I didn't even realise how much I'd stolen. There were just numbers on the screen to me in the end, because it was just going in. I wasn't seeing this money. It was going in and out of gambling account. So by the time I started speaking out, even just to someone who was interviewing me for a police station, that's when the pressure started to lift. I then went back and told my partner at the time, and then my family and my parents, which was the hardest bit for me, telling the parents. But that was the bit where I realised I did have support. It was going to be a long road back, and I got a lift home for the person who interviewed me for the police, and they said to me on the way back, look, you know, it's going to be a long road, this recovery. It's going to be tough at times, but keep doing what you did today, and you'll get there. And that stuck with me. And every time I went to speak to someone, like my parents, which is the hardest bit, it was just like, get through this bit. This is going to be tough, but you get through
So
it.
the police were compassionate.
Absolutely. And yeah, once they weren't to start with, but as soon as I said that, they were looking around my flat for where the money had gone and how I would have spent it. And they saw I lived in, you know, I had no living conditions particularly to speak of, no possessions. And then I said, look at my bank statements. It's gone on gambling. I'm a gambling addict. And then at that point, they think, okay, this makes sense now. And as soon as I started to be honest, that compassion started to come back at me. So I realized that, you know, I didn't want excuses, didn't want, you know, to pass the blame onto anyone else. I just wanted to tell the truth and get better from the point. And they saw that, I think, and they appreciated the honesty. And yeah, once it started to get out in the open, I then reached out for support with, well, GAM Care, with the Men Not to Break Even, who are a counselling support service with lived experience. Spoke to them for 12 weeks, once a week, and realised that other people had gone through it, some different degrees of levels of it, some much, you know, worse conditions than me, some not so bad. But you realise all the same thing was, there is a way through this. And I was fortunate to have the support of my parents to take that financial pressure off. I had somewhere to move. I split up with my partner at the time, and we tried to make a go of it, but I knew I had to sort of start again as such, and I lost my job obviously, and went back to the beginning. And I had the support of my parents to give me the house, but they didn't really understand. Talking to them about it, they didn't really understand like how to help in a certain way. They could help from a sort of material point of view and being there as a emotional support, and a practical support with housing and food and bits like that, but and financially. But the support was needed elsewhere to get to the bottom of what was going on and why I was gambling in the first place. And basically worked my way back. You know, in the end, it was due to finances, but going backwards, it was down to boredom, it was down to escapism, it was down to anxiety and self-worth and bits like that. So it's just working my way back through it all. And then, yeah, started to volunteer and get myself back on my feet, and got a job at where I was volunteering. And I got a suspended sentence with community service. So I was fortunate enough to carry on my recovery rather than, you know, maybe going inside getting a custodial sentence. So yeah, the honesty.
Where did you volunteer?
At British Heart Foundation. So there was a furniture shop. So there was a lot of physical lifting furniture up and downstairs and bits like that. So it was good just to be around people, again, different volunteers. And that's when I started to realise that I was good at working with people and wanting to help people as well.
Okay.
That's the first side of that as well. So, and then I met a couple of years later, met my now wife, and we had children. And like we spoke about earlier, that having the children put a strain a little bit on our relationship, but we got through it, and it worked out well. But I've realised I neglected myself a little bit during that time, and started to feel like I went into a lapse only for one night. Went into panic mode and told my wife straight away and seeked help, and then that's what led me to Epic Restart Foundation. And I realised that lapse didn't put me back to square one again. It just put me at a place where I needed to be more aware of where I was at. I'd put everything in place to keep going. But
so you started your journey, and then it's like, oops, fuck, I got to get refocused and to continue. So you met Epic Restart. Yep. Okay. Good. That's important catch.
That's right. Yeah. And then that was when I realised that my recovery had been about stopping gambling, and that was the focus. If I stopped gambling, everything would be okay. And I think you mentioned it earlier. It wasn't okay. There was a load of traits that I neglected for so many years of my life that I hadn't worked on, that I needed to work on. There was a load of stuff that was sitting there undealt with because my focus had been on gambling for so many years. And it started to make me realise that I need to look after myself first and foremost, to then be able to be a better dad, to be a better husband, to be a better person for myself, and have a bit of selfishness in it, which sounds bad, but it was like be be a bit selfish for myself and allow myself that time to get myself well. So yeah, I started to really kind of work on different traits, give myself a bit of routines in the morning, exercise, my own time, and then I started to train to be a peer support worker for Peer Aid, who are part of Bet No More, if anyone knows them, but they've helped people through gambling harm. And then I got a job with Rethink Mental Illness to help people into employment, because that's what I struggled with at the start as well. So my lived experience was used there. And then went on to the NHS as a peer support worker for gambling harm, which then led me to Epic. So it kind of, once I started to work on that area where I knew I needed to work on myself, other things started to click into place a lot more, and I was able to then help others do that as well. But yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a challenging one. The recovery's been up and down like it always is, but there's I found that the tough times are the ones I've learned the most from, and that's what I'd always encourage. Like, I always think myself, if I'm going through a tough time, there are positives from it, because you can learn a hell of a lot from those tough times, and that's what I didn't appreciate before, I suppose, other than these last few years.
Andrew, thank you so much. What a nice, clear kind of journey of someone in a recovery process. Danny, what did you learn from being curious?
Yeah, just the similarities really between that there's that it doesn't it's not about the substance or whatever. It's the addiction is just it's the same, isn't it? We're almost entirely the same. I think the the recovery process is the same as well. Talking about lapses and relapses and things like that. I just I hadn't really thought about it like that, so it's been really eye-opening for me.
It's nice, huh? Brings a lot to the container. Andrew,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah,
And please feel free to reach out to Danny and Kennedy Street to see how you could bring more gambling harm recovery into the organization, if that's something that's...
Well, we do a thing on Fridays called Recovery Talks, and we've had 3 people from Gamblers Anonymous come in over the last 18 months, 2 years. And we always get an amazing response. Like, people are really taken aback by it, and just because it is so similar.
What I just want to be aware of is there's a lot of 12-step stuff.
Yeah.
That's
but with Andrew as well. I've not heard of the organisation he was talking about. But
yeah, so Epic Restart is what's it? Helping people whose lives have been impacted from gambling harm. Like, so when people come out of treatment, it's all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Which is what you guys are doing at Kennedy Street. Yeah. So not as a mutual aid, but maybe as organization,
Yeah.
Maybe Andrew could come in and talk to you guys about recovery coaching around the harms of gambling.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
I mean, are you near Brighton, Andrew?
I'm not too far. I'm Margate, so yeah, a couple of hours away. I can get there easy enough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's close. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Olivia, how are you? You're falling asleep, love. You okay?
Yeah, no.
Are we boring you?
No, I'm still listening. I'm taking it all in. I just feel exhausted today. I don't know why.
That's okay. That's all right.
The after effect from Christmas, I think, and having my son nearly 24/7 is like...
Oh, fuck. Yeah. It's a huge, that's a huge strain as well, huh?
Yeah, I've gone from 2 hours a week to nearly every night of the week. So it's just like,
okay. Well, first of all, thank you for saying that. Yeah, because some people might think, oh my God, she can't cope.
Oh, no. Sorry, I'm fine.
Yeah. No. That's what I love about you, owning it and saying it and just like, okay. So if you wanted to switch your camera off and just have a snooze on the couch and listen to us in the background, that's absolutely fine as well.
No, I think I
Yeah.
should make a coffee.
Well, whatever you need to do to
No,
look
I'm
after,
fine. I'm fine.
to look after yourself. It's important.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
No, I'm fine, honestly.
That's
Yes, I'm listening.
great. All right. So where should we go now? So Danny and Daniel, you're both coming up to the end of your 20 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I would love it if you drop back in anytime. What you'll see on the screen there, it says 167 recovery. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the idea of that is it's a project name for what we're doing this year, just to get ourselves around a project. And the
What,
project,
6767?
huh?
Oh no, don't start that.
67.
No, 167.
67.
What's 6
Yeah,
7?
it's like a child thing. Don't worry
Do you
about
not
it.
know? It's an
You're
epidemic
not
at
in
the
the group,
moment.
eh? You're not in the clique.
Okay.
Kids are obsessed with saying 6-7.
Yeah, well, 6 7 is there's a band.
Okay.
Yeah, or music, and
Yeah,
and
it is. Yeah,
and
rapper.
yeah, and it can be related to kind of gangsterism.
Mm.
And numbers and things like that. I don't know if that's why kids are saying it, but the idea of 167 is you get 168 hours in a week. Yep. And often people go for 1 hour of treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Andrew spoke about his 1 hour of treatment with, was it Bet No More or
Break even.
break even? Yeah. So what does he do for the other 167 hours of the week? So the project name is focusing on building recovery capital for external recovery capital for people to make use of to fill up the other 167 hours.
Yeah.
So this is what the project name's about. Yeah. And I'm hoping that the LEROs that come here for this training will start to network and share ideas and work together to help develop the asset base that communities have.
Yeah.
The ABCD, asset-based community development. Yeah. And what I love about Kennedy Street is you've got this breakfast going on, and you've got this thing going on and that thing, and I see the WhatsApp posts, and there's lots of stuff that you're doing. And it's the same with Joe and Recovery Connections. They've got all sorts of things going on. So they're really quite far down the road in developing social enterprise stuff, which is actually creating a culture of jobs that people can go to, like bringing economies into to the northeast of England or underserved communities. Yeah. And also what this is doing is it's aligning with the UK's government strategy of Harm to Hope and OHID, and the 3.3 billion pounds that has been put into the system to try and develop recovery capital. So as a project name, and to kick off the project, we're going to be offering a free workshop in London, a free 2-day workshop for anyone that wants to become a sober companion. Yeah. And a sober companion is somebody who can, help someone get them to treatment, pick them up when they leave a facility, whether they've been incarcerated or whether they're coming out of treatment, or helping someone, I don't know, go down to the what's it, DSS, is that social services, to just like, what is a sober companion and how do you do it? So that'll be on the 16th and 17th of February up here in London. It's in person, and I'd love for you guys to attend if you can.
What date was that?
16th and 17th of February.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be easy for you guys coming up from Brighton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's in Battersea in London. And Joe, I spoke to Jen this morning and said she must send some people down from Recovery Connections. So they just got to pay for the train fare and the hotel for the night.
Well, we've got a new minibus now, so we might be able to drive.
Oh, wow. Even
Yeah.
better. Oh, wonderful. What a great idea.
I'm just checking. Is it a weekend or is it during the week?
No, it's a Monday and Tuesday.
Ah, even better.
Yeah, even better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, drive a bus down. You've got 2 buses or 3 buses. You can have a
Well,
whole
we've got-
convoy.
Yeah, yeah. Each place got one. Well, each place here.
So that would be wonderful. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, and Dareb, feel free to fly over. Come over with Paula and Ingrid. Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to. I think Ingrid is away then, but well, I can ask.
Yeah. Okay. And just so you all know that this is run like the London Recovery Coaching Campus is part of Maoni. Yep, and Maoni is the organization in the Netherlands, which is really kind of helping to support all this. So yeah, so I'm really excited about that. Really excited. Andrew, it's been great having you here today. How are you feeling now coming into the container?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Yeah, I felt a little bit no idea what to expect to start with, to be honest, and it feels like yeah, I was just looking forward to kind of getting involved a bit more. Next week I'll be a bit more prepared to kind of know what to expect, and yeah, I'm glad I'm here.
Okay, great. So you're also able to attend between 2 and 4 the Systemic Wellness Practitioners Training, which focuses on the development of your professional role in the LERO. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where we use these tools to help develop the professional role. Yeah.
And do I attend that on the same day, or would that be up at any time?
Same link. Yeah.
Same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. So the way certification goes is if you attend 20 of these classes, yep, and you do the online material, that means you've got 40 hours of classroom experience and you've gone through the material. And because you're working in a LERO, you're already doing the practical hours.
Okay.
And we've assessed the organization. So we know how you onboard clients, how you track them, and Epic has been assessed already, just like Kennedy Street has now, just like Recovery Connections have. And they sit under the Maoni umbrella. Yep. So we know as an organization, all those processes are in place. We don't have to develop them. Olivia, who are you working with? And Davide, who are you working with?
I'm
Working
working. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, you go ahead, Olivia. My apologies.
It's called Pear Road Project in Erith.
Okay, so we don't know about that project yet. Yeah. And maybe the project wants to move into that area and get some professional development around it, because then we can go to the world and say this is what a professional lived experience organization is. Here's the content, here's the role definition, this is how we, you do safeguarding and tracking and work with other professionals and all that sort of stuff. So, and you, Davide?
I'm working for Algarve Wellness as a peer recovery coach, a sober companion, live-in sober companion.
Okay, and that's a private
It is, yes. Yes.
Private. Okay. All right. So the difference between the private sector and the LERO sector is a private sector, there's a commercial component to it. The LERO perspective is it's a charitable component to it. And basically what that means is the clients or people that are being served, the citizens are being served. Some people go through in the UK, that's kind of being funded by the NHS because somebody always pays. And then in Davide's organization, it's privately funded, either by insurance, yep,
Or by the
or
client.
by the person themselves.
Correct.
Yep. Yep. And yeah, so as we go out into the world where addiction is impacting the world, it's a global problem that different countries and organizations, find different ways of coming up with solutions for this. Yeah.
David, can I just say something? That Peer Road is under SLAM, NHS UK. Have you heard of that?
Okay.
You've heard of
All
that?
right. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that's going to be a whole other fucking can of worms. Yeah, because the NHS system here, from my perspective, is very bloated with bureaucracy.
Yeah.
And policies and procedures and processes. So where I am living here in Wandsworth, one person waited 3.5 years before he could go into hospital for an alcohol detox.
Mm.
And for me, that's just fucking terrible.
Mm.
Like
There is quite a few people that have gone into rehab at the Peer Road project.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
I'm not criticizing that sort of stuff. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that often the policies, procedures,
Yeah.
process, all that sort of. And then
Yeah.
the other side of it is often LERO organizations can be seen as chaotic and unhelpful and unprofessional and all over the place, and rightly so. Because if you've got organizations which are run by, bunch of antisocial junkies that haven't done their own work, you're going to get challenges.
Mm.
Yeah. And now I can feel my political correctness head being shouted at by people that are saying that's shaming language. You can't use that language. Fuck off. I'm a fucking junkie. I earned that seat.
Oh, they're just name callers. Just ignore them. They're just name callers.
So at the heart of it, it all becomes a diversity issue. Yeah.
But the jobs I'm looking for is with CGL. So.
Pardon?
The job I'm looking for is in CGL.
Okay, great. Okay. So once you've certified, you can certainly go to CGL and say, listen, I'm Mauni certified as a certified professional recovery coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that you're going to have to do kind of privately with us. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Cool. All right. So Danny and Daniel.
Yeah.
How's the journey been?
Go on, Danny.
Yeah, it's been great. Really good. I've learned a lot. It's starting here as a volunteer, I didn't obviously I've got my lived experience, but I suppose what I've learned the most really out of working with you guys and with you, David, has been the lived experience part of it, can only take you so far when it comes to coaching and helping someone. And I've learned a lot about listening, and a lot about asking the right kinds of questions and making sure that if I am supporting someone, that they need to find the answers really within themselves. They need to sort of find their own sort of pathway for their recovery. And when they do sort of find those answers or set those agendas for themselves, then it seems to be a much more successful process. Whereas, if you start saying, you should be doing this, or I did this, or that, so yeah, I think it's it's about the right kind of questions and the curiosity and the kindness and just enough lived experience, and helping people to sort of find their own path, I think is some of the key things that I've learned.
Wonderful. Can I take that little clip as advertising? So
Sure.
yeah, you're good with that, because I'm going to. I love that. What a nice description, especially the listening part. Yep. And the multiple pathways to recovery, and the being supportive and sharing bits of lived experience where necessary. That was wonderful.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Daniel.
Yeah, it's been great. I think it's just opened my eyes to the networking part, and actually realizing now there's so many people doing what we're doing, although just everywhere, which obviously I'm not aware of that, but just like it's nice to meet everyone, and we're all from different paths and we all from different places, and but it's good, isn't it? It just making all these different connections is so important, and it means, you know, when someone comes in with something that I'm not aware of, you know, I can reach out. There's things people can connect to, and try and find out what would work for each individual person, and yeah, it just seems like, yeah, I like God's little master plan that we have just the right amount of gamblers, drug addicts, alcoholics, parents, everyone. You know, we all come together and get to share this experience. It's been good.
So what I love about what you've just said is highlighting the system.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves recovery, and everyone's impacted by the culture of addiction. And I think one of the challenges, a lot of the services and the money gets focused on the person with the substance use disorder, or the gambling problem, and the families get neglected or left behind, or they don't feel that they don't like, oh no, I don't have a problem, work on them. And hopefully we can bring in more kind of care to the family and support, and then the workplace as well. So great. Thank you, Daniel. All right. So where to from here, both of you? What are your next steps?
Don't want to say. I've got to. No, I don't want to jinx something. I've got something that might be a good thing coming up in the future.
Okay.
I will
So
still...
don't say it if you don't want to say it.
Yeah. I will. But yeah, no, I'll continue to pop in. My Thursday mornings are free at the moment, so I'll come and say hi.
Okay.
I'm going to continue to develop the sort of creative recovery side of things that I'm working on. Mark here, who does the fundraising, has been really helpful in helping me to put an application together for some funding to put on another exhibition, hopefully this year. I won't find out until next month whether I get it, but I'm also in the process of trying to set up a CIC and open a bank account and things like that. So yeah, I guess I've been supported by Kennedy Street to start something myself, which will still be very much embedded here. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I think the exhibition that we had last November was such a great success, and I see it as a really I mean, in some ways it fits in, David, with your 167 approach, because outside of meetings or things like that, it's what do we do with our time when we're not drinking or using anymore. And I think creativity and getting into that kind of flow, and also dealing with sort of feelings and past trauma and things like that, creativity can be such a great and powerful thing with that. So I'm seeing that as quite a rich theme. So I'm hoping that will continue to unfold, and that I can continue to support and help other people, through creativity and recovery. That's where I'm heading.
Great. Okay, so straight away, I want to offer you to come to the systemic wellness practitioner, because there you would get support around how to set up the kick, how to develop your program, how to show up, and maybe that's something that Kennedy Street will support you in doing. So have a word with Claire and Mark. And if it's something you'd like to do, so you'd get some coaching around developing this business of yours, then please come. That's exactly what Charlie did. You
Okay,
know,
great.
as part of Charlie's journey, he's gone and done that. Yeah, we'd love to support you in that.
Yeah, that's great. I think for me it's I think finding I've always been in the creative industries, but for me they've been very hedonistic in the past. There's always been a lot of drink and drugs around the creative industries that I've worked in. And so the fact that I've sort of found an area here which is sort of in the recovery space, but also allows me to draw on some of my past experience as a successful creative person, is it feels right. It feels safe for me, but it feels like I've got something that I can bring to the table. It's a new it's a new path that's come out of recovery, and I think I think it's working, so I'm just I'm going with the flow.
Great. Okay. All right. And yeah, let me speak to you offline about this.
Yeah, let's have a catch up. I'll get in touch with you after this, because it would be good. As I said to you, I need to figure out my certificate from the online stuff as well. So
Yeah,
perhaps
I've had a look at that. I'll issue that, and then we'll send that off to Paula. And we just need who is your boss? Claire.
Claire, yeah.
Yep. So Claire just needs to say that she's happy with you. Yep. And then I'm happy with you, and then we need to tell Paula, who'll then issue the certificate. You'll be certified.
Okay,
Yep.
amazing. Yeah, that's great.
Cool. All right. Wonderful. Okay. Happy New Year. We've kicked off. So everyone's happy with the recording still, yeah? Cool.
Sure.
Okay. So just to let you know that the recording, we will then take the transcript of that and we'll put it into the Mauni brain, yeah, where we're capturing information to continuously improve recovery capital and a better learning environment. Yeah. So using technology to just kind of help empower and get more of this work out there. And we've done some great work in Zambia and Uganda and in the third world as well, because there's so much we can do with technology. Great. All right. Well, I need to come down from my manic high of being very excited. Yeah. Who wants to start the checkout?
Shall I start?
Please do.
Now, after hearing today, I think I will move to the UK. So lovely project you have over there. But yeah,
So we're really wanting to start things off in the Netherlands as well. Yeah. So please
yeah,
direct.
I know. I have to search. After hearing all of you, I think, oh, what can I do?
Great. Great.
Yeah. But I asked Ingrid and Gwen yesterday, so the ball
Great.
is rolling. Yeah, I know.
Great. Great.
So I'm excited to move on.
Wonderful. Oh, that gets
And
me so excited too.
and I wish all the best to Daniel and Danny. Thank you for all your sharing and support. And hope to see you somewhere. And I take Olivia.
Yeah, I'm good. I've woken up now. There's a lot to take in. I've written loads of notes, so I haven't been completely asleep because I've got loads of notes here. Yeah, so I'd just like to say, is this your last one, Danny and Daniel, then? Or are you back next week?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
this is
it's
officially our last
my
one.
compulsory one.
Oh, really? Okay, well, take care, and I wish you all the best whatever you do.
Thank
Hope
you.
to
I
see
can
you
hear
soon.
the anxiety in your
Yeah, I'm
voice,
just like,
Olivia. Oh no, I don't want them to
I'm the
leave.
newest one, the oldest one now. Please come back. Yeah, so yeah, take care. Yeah, I'm checking out good and nervous now for next week. Right, check out with Andrew, please.
Thanks, Olivia. It's nice to meet everybody. I'm well, and yeah, all the best to you, Daniel, with whatever you've got hopefully in the pipeline, and Danny with your art therapy project. And I'll try and be in touch with sort of linking in as well. But yeah, it's good to meet everyone. Good first session, and I'm checking out as well. And I'll tag Danny.
Yeah, thanks, folks. Check it out. Well, thanks, David. Thanks, everybody. It's been great. I've really learned a lot over the last 20 sessions, and I will definitely try and pop back in to see you all at some point soon. And yeah, feeling good. And David?
Yeah, thank you, Danny and Daniel. I have learned a lot from you guys as well, a lot. I'm excited to be back next week. Was rather quite an anxious day today, but yeah, looking anxious to grow, to become better in my field that I've chosen, to help within being a living coach. And yeah, looking forward to next week and back to, let me see, is it Joe?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm checking out well. I've really enjoyed it, especially enjoyed listening to Andrew and learning more about the gambling side of things, because it's not something we, deal with on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, I've enjoyed it listening to everyone. And I wish everyone the best of luck if they're not going to be here next week. Daniel, I think, are you the last one?
Yeah, it's been great. I'll tell you, it's I'll do a big plug for David. It can be a bit strange at times, this group, but it's definitely worth continuing with. And yeah, it's you don't a lot of the time you don't realize you're learning what you're like, what is going on here, and then everything just kind of clicks into place, and you're like, oh, okay. Oh, I get what's going on. But yeah, it's been a really good experience. Yeah, keep going with it. Cheers, David.
Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, look, I mean, a big component of this trading and the experience is to get people to realize how unconsciously competent they already are. So that you become consciously competent, which is actually going, shit, you know what? I can actually do this stuff. It's clicking into place. I know how to fiercely care for someone.
Oh.
Make sense?
Yeah, that's answered a lot of my questions now.
Yeah, good.
And to build the confidence. Thank you, David.
Yeah, great. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Is that everyone? We got 7 minutes left, but it's a new year and I get you're tired. So, all right, everyone. Lots of love. Take
Thank you,
care.
David.
See you next week.
Take care.